Hi everyone, delonewolf here, welcome back to EVE Online, and in today's video I'm taking the Jackdaw out for another test. I did change the fitting, but I also saw that what I normally would use, an A-type medium shield booster, is kinda ridiculous in price, 330 million ISK for a single module. So I went with an alternative. This time I've got a Gistum B-type medium shield booster. I still use the A-type 1MN Afterburner, which I think will help a little bit with the situation, because I have basically been able to change my fit around a little bit to give me slightly higher resistances because of one rig, and I'm still cap stable. So here we go, we find a Sanchez Nation occupied mining colony. Actually, a site that I would not want to run in the double rep Jackdaw with the Tech 1 reps, because I feel like we would get broken in this room already, and in the second room absolutely if we want to do a dive. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna give this one a go. Of course we are going to go full out with the like that, with the repping, because we are cap stable, so you can normally afford to just use all of that. And then I also grabbed some Tech 2 missiles to see how they perform, and if we can get some good damage. Might be a little bit less optimal on the frigates and on the destroyers, but should be, of course, perhaps a little bit better against the larger targets. So here we go, let's clean this up, and let's hope that the B-type shield rep, which does 124 compared to 170 for the A-type, I mean that is still a pretty damn big difference, but let's hope that it can basically work well enough for us, and that we can get all of this to maintain itself basically, especially the tank, as I've said, in this 4 out of 10. So here we go, I am running with the separate launchers. We are clearing out all of these small targets first quite efficiently so far. Still have one to go right there. We can use 2 launchers on him, and that should get rid of that Centiplague pretty effectively. There we go. Now we've got some of these enemies, and so far my tank, yep, we do take some damage, but we rep back, well, we rep back a little bit less than before, and so I actually grabbed an orbit at 5 kilometers from the acceleration gate so that I can stay at speed a bit better and basically tank the incoming damage a little bit better as well. Next up, we are up against the cruiser, where I'm hoping that the Tech 2 Fury missiles can basically do a little bit better than before. And that one is broken without too much trouble. Now let's try to get the nice constant barrage of missiles going. Let's see what that looks like. Launch, 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 launch. Oh, that is so good. I do love it when it looks like that. And so we are actually going after that main target right there, Centium Torturer. Can I target the final one? Yes, I can. And there we go, you are down. On to the next one. Let's speed it up a bit by having a full missile spread going after the enemy. That's the shields down in basically a single volley. Second volley goes in, and almost half armor. So, you know, we're doing okay because I'm cap stable and I'm at speed, but if you get caught out, I do think that we might end up in trouble at some point, and it's gonna be interesting to see if we can effectively take out the true Sancha in the second side. Do I try a dive? I think I should try a dive, just for testing purposes, but I must say I'm also a little bit worried by my tank, because I do rep a lot less than in the previous version, the A-type version, you could say, of the auto Jackdaw. So we'll see. That one goes down, not a problem. On to the next one. We're still doing quite okay. Again, shields gone in one volley, and then the second one. Actually, the Slaughterer takes apparently a lot more damage because all his armor is just straight up gone. Next target, a Phantasm, Centatis Phantasm up there. Let's see what it looks like on that front. So he launches missiles as well, and there come my missiles, taking chunks out of his armor. He's still firing his lasers, but we're fast enough. We are escaping that without any real harm at this point. And there we go, she blows up. Let's start targeting the next one. Pretty damn good view. And so you are my next target, Torture at 28 kilometers. In the meantime, yeah, no need to worry, right? You can have your invulnerability field running and your Afterburner and your shield booster. You're doing absolutely fine. And then here the tracking disruption is still not a problem for the missiles, of course, which apply very well. So we can start to approach this gate at this point. And I think we can cut down on the after, well, maybe one more cycle just to get there a bit more quickly. And there we go, first room down, and we still have 12 to 13 missiles left. So that's pretty good. Let's do a reload all. Let's get into that second room, and then let's go take a look at... I think we'll try the dive, right? Oh, hello Flux, by the way. In local. He's not there anymore. I was late, of course. I'm focusing a little bit on the recording here. True Sasha Foreman. So we're gonna try the dive, which means that at first I've got to try and orbit, let's say at the current, then fire my missiles in his direction, see what kind of DPS we've got, and after that we dive in the defense mode so that we can handle the incoming damage. Now, an option, if you want to play it a little bit more safe, which is something that I would generally do, is to also start targeting some of the close DPS that'll be close to the wreck. So some of these frigates like that, and man, he's actually breaking a lot more quickly than what I'm used to with the auto Jackdaw so far. Let's see, yeah, he reps probably around the same 10% as what I rep with my shields. Like this, we are pretty easily evading the incoming damage. And we should have the range without too much trouble, right? 52, we're at 45. Yep, he's got a quarter of his armor left. Bring on the next volley. Now he's in structure. There we go. That one goes down. Very nice performance, I must say. Yeah, take 2 missiles. It's a lot of damage because this guy has been obliterated. So we're gonna dive towards him. And so something that could help if you don't feel absolutely safe, which I don't at this point, we'll try a more dangerous dive later on, is just to start going after some of these frigates, of course, because they are a bit of incoming DPS, and if you can lower that, that'll just help you survive the dive towards the target a little bit better. We also started out 40 kilometers out, which is quite a far way away, and it gives us a little bit of time to go after all of these small targets like that. Just blow them up one by one. Not a problem. You're next, you're next. And then, ooh, I'm even in sharpshooter mode. I'm still so far making it through. That's actually impressive, gotta say. So my resistances are up from the previous version of the auto Jackdaw. And so now I'm still in sharpshooter mode. We're still doing, whoops, god damn it. That's not what I had to do. So I'm still in sharpshooter mode. We're taking out all of the frigates here without any real problem. And we're still going. Now I'm lacking a little bit, but we make it. So I'm actually gonna go into defense mode. We're gonna take the loot, and then we're gonna warp the hell out of here. Yeah, it's a faction module, but it's nothing too good. Planet 1, warp within 0. Let's go that way. And yeah, look at that. The true Sasha taken out. Now at this point we hardly take any damage anymore because we are so tanky, and so we get the hell out of that. Well, next time I might try the true dive. The resistances feel kind of good. That's actually pretty impressive what I'm seeing here. So let's get back into sharpshooter mode so that we can continue our experiment. I'll show you guys the fit at this point, and then if we find something else that could be useful, then of course we'll look at it. There's still some signatures to look for, but for now I'll show you guys the fitting. It will be down below in the comments of the video as well. But so we have Take 2 missile launchers at this point with Inferno Fury Light missile launchers. Of course, you've got the core probe launcher and the sister probes. Mid slots, 8 type 1MN Afterburner. Kind of expensive, but it was part of the fit of the previous double rep version, so I'm keeping it in there. I think it's good. Then we've got a B-type medium shield booster, basically get that one to run stable, and this is the main part of your tank because you don't have a lot of HP. 1158 shield HP is not a lot, but this will rep more than 10% on every single rep, of course. Then we have a Republic Fleet small capacitor for the cap stability. I have a C-type EM warp, minus 52 EM damage resistance, very nice of course for the EM damage, which is at 0 if you don't add any resistances. And then we also have an adaptive invulnerability field, because you can see that in both EM and thermal we're lacking a little bit. And so in defensive mode it goes up to 82%. That is very nice, of course, allowing you to survive. You become so much smaller as well. So that's pretty good. Down here we get 3 ballistic control systems for the damage. And then no damage rigs, you just don't have the CPU for that. Your launchers start to cost too much, and we have a small capacitor control circuit rather than 2 in the previous version, and we're still cap stable. I think that's thanks to the A-type. Then we have a small processor overclocking unit just to be able to get the fitting in here. And a big difference I do think is a small EM screen reinforcer, which plugs your EM gap a little bit and basically gives you a better all-around tank and a better anti-Sasha tank. So that's the B-type auto Jackdaw version. You saw it do a 4 out of 10 right now. I'm personally very impressed with what I saw there, especially compared to the double rep. I think we would have been in a lot more trouble there. And let's see what we still have in here. So we still have a cosmic signature nearby. And let's see if we can spot it. Let's see what it is. Sometimes you get really lucky. So this is actually the final system of my regular round. Next jump is back in home base of Detal. I found absolutely nothing in the previous systems, but it was my first round as well. And here at the tail end in Nesesama, just found a nice 4 out of 10. Unfortunately, no great loot. So then we're gonna grab this. And the plan for this ship is, well, I feel like once it's earned the 300 million to replace the B-type with an A-type, I am probably going to do that. It is going to make a big difference if you're able to rep 170 rather than 124 every 3 seconds. The percentage of your shields, it makes such a big difference. I think that if you make a mistake, if you're caught out a little bit, it's just going to give you that extra boost that you will want. And man, that is insanely lucky if I can get this one as well, because it's another Sasha's nation occupied mining colony. Okay, very nice. Let's go and run that as quickly as possible. That's a bit of a surprise. 2 of them, and both of them were like really close to one another. So now we still have a signature up there. I think I feel good enough about the ship at this point that I'll try to grab it while we head to our targets. So we get speed ready, we're fully loaded. We still have plenty of missiles to work with as well. And of course I like to have some auto-targeting missiles in there as well, just in case of like nice little 3 out of 10, or if you want a very passive way of running the sites, you can use that as well. Such a cool ship. Let's see here. Get to the gate, we're good to go, and that's a wormhole, so that is nothing of interest for me right now. 2 4 out of 10s. That's very nice. Let's get back in there and let's hope that we don't have anyone else running the site, which we don't. Okay, lucky. Very good. I think we'll do the same tactic. Just grab the gate, orbit at 5, activate all your modules so that you feel safe. Ready to tank. That's really the advantage of your cap stable fit. You know if you're gonna make it or not, or if you're super safe or not right away. Right now you can just activate everything, get to speed, and then fully focus on your damage. And I know that I am perfectly safe in this first part, especially as I try to take out the enemy DPS as quickly as I can, like that. So that's pretty good. Oh, there's also a Gila coming in. Kodora 0 in the Gila. Alright, that's going to mean, I think, a dive in the second room for sure. Let's see if we can take these guys out and then get started on a first cruiser. That also means that I have to orbit this at 500 or 1000. Get a bit closer. so that I can take... Oh no, she left. Okay, she actually left me, he or she. Caldari, let's see if I can do a show info on that. Yep, she. Sounded like a she. Actually left me the site. Thank you very much. That is very nice. Let's take that first cruiser out. Let's maybe do an orbit at 1,000 so that we don't have that extra bit of travel time later on, and see if the tank can handle it. So far it's been doing really well, so I'm not too worried myself. Let's take that guy out in one volley. Nice. You're next. And so you can see, I think it's mainly... Ooh, and damn, that actually surprised me. I'm 1500 from the gate, and look at that, still 630 meters a second. That is definitely pretty damn decent. So off we go. And, well, since we were gonna try it anyways, we'll do that now. Second room, dive for the loot without taking out any DPS. But do so, of course, in defense mode, to see if that works out, or if the incoming damage is just too much. So that's the Spectre gone. You're next. The cruisers, they still take some work, right? You can see that we still have like 30 plus missiles in the launchers, and we know that we're probably gonna get down very close to 10, so that's still quite a few missile cycles left to go. And I almost wonder, is it then perhaps better to try and spread that that missile damage out if I can break them pretty effectively without them doing too much repping? Then this could save you a little bit of time, because you've got, you know, they're just on their cycles, and that's that. But of course, if they do a lot of repping, then you're gonna waste a lot of missile cycles as well. So we're talking 10, 14 cycles. Will I be able to break them that quickly? Let's take a look. Let's give that a go. So can my individual small launchers break these cruisers? And can we get pretty much the same result as in the previous 4 out of 10, of course? So it looks like the Slaughterer is going down quite effectively, taking a lot of damage, but the Mutilator and the Spectre there are holding tank quite a bit better. And so they are actively repping. Yeah, we could have avoided quite a few of those reps that you're seeing on the cruisers here by focusing them down. Here again, Slaughterer repping, the Mutilator repping as well. But eventually we are going to break these two, giving me the DPS to apply on the others. And so we will break this. Is this faster? Yeah, I don't think so. The reps just basically mean extra missiles that need to be launched. Here again, you can see double repping as well. Very annoying. We'll make it in the end. It's just gonna take a little bit more time like that. But it's cool to see that at least some of these cruisers can be broken just by a single launcher from the auto Jackdaw. That's actually kind of impressive. And next now the Spectre has been tanking the best, so we're gonna focus on him with 3 launchers. That should work. And yeah, we go down to 10, 11 at this point, so we are definitely using way more missiles using this tactic. It's not the best. Focus down on the enemy is the name of the game. That's pretty obvious. Far more effective. Okay, lesson learned. Let's get in on that acceleration gate. Let's do a reload all, and then in fact let us group them up just to get that full application straight away on the True Sancha, and then we'll try a dive without taking all of those frigates off the field. So that also means that I should perhaps try a closer orbit, just to try and save a little bit extra time on the traveling. So open fire, orbits, let's do 25 to start out with. Let's see what that does. Should be able to hit that. Yeah, we do. Half his shields from the first volley. Activate the Afterburner. You have to. Your speed is everything actually in this one. So this almost even feels like I made a bit of a mistake. I should start approaching him straight away. That's the real dive, of course. I was still wanting to delay that dive in a little bit, just in case that I was not able to fully break him by the time that we get there. We might not even be able to be honest. So this is a good test. It's a little bit risky. Let's see if we can do this. Come on. That's good. Ooh, now look at my tank though. Look at my tank though. Gotta get out. We gotta actually get out in defense mode, I think. Let's see if we can rev back up because of that. And can we still break him? That's the real question. So now we're pulling out a little bit. And I think we're gonna get in trouble when it comes to trying to break him. We are repping back, despite the whole room basically applying good DPS on us. And he is just not breaking. The difference in DPS is quite substantial. Okay, am I far away? Well, we read back, so we can go back into sharpshooter mode. Should be a couple more volleys to break him. And it shows that, yeah, you gotta be a little careful when it comes to the dive. You see again here, we are taking quite a bit of damage. Come on, break that bastard. Break that bastard. One more. Fire quickly. Yep, there it is. Ah, good God. Look at that sliver of HP left. That's better. Now he's down. I want to grab it. And then we will go, of course, into defense mode, which seemed to do the job quite well. Perhaps we could then take a look at what kind of DPS. So we survived, and at this point I'm not too worried about... Well, let's take a look at it though. Tank, that's the incoming damage. Speed is good, 620. Heading straight for the wreck. So that is definitely alright. And so far we are holding. Yep, I would say that we are holding quite easily, in fact. Increased resistance, we're smaller, so they don't hit us as well. Yeah, they're definitely not breaking this ship. So, okay, definitely an interesting lesson. Grab that loot, which is nothing. Man, I'm pretty damn disappointed at this point. Let's get out into the tull. Let's see if in non-sharpshooter modes we can take these frigates down. Yeah, we're gone too fast. We were actually aligned well for a jump to the tull. Okay, very interesting. Stay in sharpshooter mode in room 2 and take him out from range so that you can stay in sharpshooter mode, because if you're too close you can see the incoming DPS is gonna break that tank. Now the same happens with the A-type. So the 170 HP per 3 seconds doesn't actually change that fact. I was always a little bit worried, but I do think that we were a little bit stronger. I felt more confident in just rushing straight for him, taking all, doing enough damage, and then at the last minute, when he's down, that's when I would switch to defensive mode. And here I felt like I was breaking a little bit more quickly, so forcing me to basically delay the rush in just a little bit. But you can still time everything quite okay, I believe. Let's move on to Chunka. I'll do a quick round to see if there's maybe a 3 out of 10 or something like that that we can find that could show a bit more. Maybe compare those two, of course. The double rep Jackdaw, we took that in a 3 out of 10 and we saw a dive in the second room. There was already a problem for the tank. I think this one will do fine when it comes to that. So we'll take a look at it if we find one. If not, we'll do one quick round. It's a bit more exploration, but you can see that we will very quickly get all the information we need, because, as I've said, this is a round that I did before. Maybe we should clean up refuges if I find them. Well, then you need to be very lucky with escalation. We've been going for 20 minutes plus already, so we'll see. Maybe we should. Just the refuges, because they escalate into what I want, which is a 3 out of 10. Well, let's see what we got here. Everything cleaned up. Alright, there were actually refuges here before. Now everything is gone. We saw the Gila, of course. Someone else is doing exploration. Yeah, that's going to be bad news for us. I think if it's a similar round to mine, then we'll see a lot of empty systems. We'll give it one round and then we'll see. So up we go. Look at the skin as well, by the way, now. And then the details, the radar balls, you could say, on or radar modules look very cool. And yeah, Actually loving the new graphics card at this point. Feels very, very stable, and no hiccups whatsoever. No signatures, no refuges. I think someone is doing the same round that I was intending to do for the second one. So let's see. Then I go off to Neil, which has been treating me quite well lately. You saw that in the previous video, but that's not a one-off. This is a Sama double. 4 out of 10 is more a one-off actually. Something that doesn't happen that often because it's the final system with stations before going to Providence, before going to 0-0. So it's actually pretty busy there. Lots of people have stuff in there. And as a result, of course, they quite often take a look at what's happening in the local signatures. So, next system. This also, compare this to the Exploratress, this feels a lot better. So we get just some drone stuff, nothing of interest. You're faster, right? You're warped, you're faster, you're getting through those systems more effectively. It feels slow. This would be a pretty boring part in the Exploratress because it would take quite a bit of time to do all of those jumps, and I would be very hesitant to decide on, yeah, alright, we're just gonna do a quick round to take a look at what's left on video. Here, this is so much faster. This actually feels like, yeah, alright, we're going in, nothing new, go to the next one, nothing new. It feels like you've got a much better pace here. Perhaps we'll even catch up to the Gila that's probably running everything a little bit ahead of us. So back through. There we are. Oh, a refuge. That was on the... Yep, exactly. I think I'm pretty close to right with my speculation on what's happening. So you saw the results that the client still remembered from the previous time when I took a look and found the data site. Well, there was a refuge in here. Now it's gone. There's someone doing the cleanup a little bit ahead of me. Let's see if we can catch up or not. Or if we can find a new signature, of course, but chances are pretty low. Still, this is the Auto Jackdaw, the B-type Auto Jackdaw, I think I'm gonna call it. Tank, still a little bit of a worry. In that second 4 out of 10 second room there, you saw that I was braking quite quickly. Imagine with 170 HP per cycle, that is a lot better. And you basically feel like you could dive on the true Sanshit there, take him out in sharpshooter mode, even if then you end up with like 30% damage or something like that in the shield, and then go into defense mode. I had to do this more quickly on this one, just because I was braking so quickly from the incoming damage. So the tank a little bit down, but still very, very high performing, and I absolutely love this ship myself. So we have a couple more systems to go, just taking a quick look. So here we get just some ore, relic data sites again. Could clean those up in the Ishtar if I wanted to. But you don't have spare mid slots in the... And then just some hideaways. Yep, don't have any spare mid slots in the Jackdaw, of course. It's all about keeping that tank going, but I love it. Really very cool fitting in my opinion. Cap stable with an oversized shield booster makes a lot of difference, and then of course the missiles, that's some great damage. 321.7 DPS in sharpshooter mode with Tech 2 missiles that apparently apply pretty damn well. So we get Udala, Esizama, then we're home. I don't think we'll find anything. Although I'm alone here, so there's not that many people. Yeah, empty wormhole, and I will take a quick look, but that's also a disadvantage of being at speed, of course. You are lowering your chance a little bit of new signatures having popped up. So you will do lots of rounds where nothing changes. That can be a little bit boring. If you're in a slightly slower cruiser, you will be able to run the sites more quickly, but you'll be a little bit slower on your rounds, and that actually increases the chances a little bit of, oh, there's something new, there's a new anomaly that popped in. Quickly do some of the refuges. That's what I tend to do on the second round, so that you can take your time a little bit more, giving yourself a feeling of, all right, I at least have somewhat of a chance of something new popping up. Right now it's actually very, very slim. So here is Esizama, and I will just go into the Tal. and I will head home, but that's gonna be it for this one. Yeah, there you go, guys. The B-type auto Jackdaw. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.